Hi guys, it's John Rossetti. A little bit about my portfolio. I've been working in the graphic scene for the last 18 years, and basically I'd work for Fortune 500 companies, ASX listed companies. Firstly, I've actually put a slideshow of something I did recently with PwC, which was mobile device designs, mainly UI and UX designs that I put together, looking at usability, looking at how this program called iPower. I spent a good 3 months or so looking at the designs and stuff, and really thinking of how the same content can be viewed across mobile platform, iPad platform, as well as desktop. So predominantly the staff at PwC are using iPads as well as laptops. Many are using the mobile, so like on buses. And so the amount of users there's about 120,000 users across the planet, PwC being one of the top 50 companies in the planet. And so it's quite an interesting project. I've over the years I've been doing things like web applications, desktop publishing, print media type stuff. So initially I started in the printing industry and working on graphic design, as in traditional graphic design. So looking at pre-press and things, looking at different printers and things, from digital printers and pre-press printers. I'd studied actually and taught at SIT in Ultimo. And so I also I came from Melbourne. I started doing more printing type stuff as soon as I came to Sydney, which is in 1999. But prior to that, I had actually studied ceramic design, and then movies at UTS, no, at Swinburne University, doing multimedia. And then at UTS, when I came to Sydney, I was with them since 2002 to I think 2007, and just really working on the design technologies. Prior to that, it was more media marketing, communication, and then prior to that, it was looking at things like design, from art history to ceramic design to drawing, all those sorts of things. So I do have a range of skills. So I went to two art schools and a design school. So going to three different universities, and then really looking at how I guess really trying to find myself in the last 2 decades, and really honing in, what type of creative role do I want to have. So working for different organisations. So PwC was the last one I'd worked for, and last main one, and then really working on different document types there, in terms of doing an analysis of UI and UX design. So looking at usability, accessibility, looking at the WC3 compliance within a Microsoft environment. Sometimes I'm not working in a Microsoft environment. I'm working on with sometimes within a .NET. Sometimes I'm working within a PHP environment. So which is it's good. So also I've got examples there of magazines, so financial magazines that I've been involved in through the Financial Planners Association of Australia. Range of websites there. There's also a range of websites I've done, so like for Tapi and brochures, web presentations, banking apps. I spent a good 3 to 4 years within the banking industry, creating applications, looking at digital marketing, as well as creating even the actual interfaces for the actual app itself. So all within a T24 environment with Temenos. Other stuff I've done in the past is a lot of traditional desktop publishing, looking at things like envelopes and letterheads and brochures for so many different companies like P&O Ports, through to stuff that I've done, say like for Qantas. Other stuff I've got involved in things like Kahlua Collective Beats, with Ibiza parties, doing things like putting together a lot of the graphic and I guess like events and things like that in the past with Pete Tong and BBC Radio 1. Other things I've done, like I've done stuff with Standard Australia, with SAI Global, and building online LCMSs, so learning content management systems. Yeah, so a range of stuff. So I've done stuff like for Hyundai. I've done stuff like for GE Money. Who else? For Audi. Who else? New South Wales. For the Defence Force. I was doing a lot of Flash development for the Defence Force at one stage. I was also looking after GE Capital and Yellow Brick Road and Wizard at the time. I was looking after NRL, AFL, State of Origin, very big company. I was also making adverts for Eddie Maguire. I've done stuff like for Akara. Akara do things like Napland. Other things like even for ComOps is also Australian listed. They do a lot of I think it's like management, a lot of management for staff and looking after things like sick leave, super, looking after pretty much staff, as well as they look after things like they've got machines, they've got things that manage things like machines and who's looking after those machines and things. So it's quite a good thing. So it's really more about staff management. Other things, Rubik Financial Limited. I was there for 3 years and started as a graphic designer, and then I was in head of design, so looking at things like UI, UX. There I actually developed the first in-flight banking app. It was fantastic, and that was probably about 2003, something like that, about 2000. Actually, no, it wasn't 2013. Sorry about that. So many years. So other companies, like I've been involved in things like Dimix and Tapi, which has won a lot of international awards in terms of hospital development. So working with planners, architects, builders, developers, interior designers. So really making a difference within different sectors. Other things that I remember recalling, so working also with Yellow Pages and Census, probably Australia's largest media advertising group in Australia, and really working with about 20,000 clients, making sure that their details were right on the web. So really managing teams of 30. So I'm always doing something within the area and in the industry. Also work with Teachers Mutual Bank. I remember even doing a rebrand for them. Also doing a rebrand for the Financial Planners Association of Australia, and bringing that across everything from web to print medium, For instance, every staff that actually get awarded, they go. The branding of even their awards is really mirrored to what I was actually producing for them. Other things, I remember even working for Central Queensland of Australia. So Central Queensland University, and remembering working for them for a good 5 years in multimedia, teaching a lot of international students. I'm looking also, so looking at, Planning New South Wales was another client. Also Raffles LaSalle. Raffles College, they do a lot of, they're based all around Asia, Pacific region. So also TAFE New South Wales, I worked for them for about 5 years. Building a rapport with a lot of the pre-press as well as who else? Also with graphic designers that work for ACP. Excuse me. And so 10th House was another person or another organisation that I was working with. And so they were more into recruitment, creative recruitment. I've placed a few people even into Macquarie Bank, police and nurses, New South Wales Fire Brigade. They end up being other clients of mine after at Rubik Financial Limited, which is now bought by Temenos in the Swiss stock exchange. So I've had a very good good career up to really looking at working with different people. Also study group Australia, study group UK. So it's really a mix of industries. So there's probably about 16 different industries that I've worked in, all needing creativity or creative minds. So it's something I'm really proud of. Especially what I find is more fascinating is I'm really looking at Australian Stock Exchange listed companies, Fortune 500 companies. So I've worked for about three or four Fortune 500 companies. I've probably worked for about 6 Australian listed companies in the past, and it has been a bit of a big of achievement. Coming from Melbourne, I came with 3 degrees and then going back for another couple of degrees and stuff. But it's great getting the degrees. But I think what's really more rewarding is working for different companies, making a difference, leaving legacy, working with different teams. I think you got to have fun also with what you do, and you really got to love what you do, and it's being passionate. Meeting up with different people. What else? When you hit companies like that are mentioned on the Forbes list, obviously when you get them, you're very happy. I guess when you sign up with those companies. And also I had partnership with Oz Hosting, was a client of theirs, and to become a partner was really good. They've got a data centre in Silverwater, which has been endorsed by the New South Wales government. So really, what it is that I look for in an organisation is a well-established organisation. Dymocks Bookstores was a really good gig, and also TAPI. Working on the hospitals, universities, across not only in Australia but in Dubai, in Malaysia, and even the Monash University Hospital. These are great, as well as the Macquarie University Hospital in Macquarie Park was just a stunning, very good project. So being part of NAPLAN and digitalisation of NAPLAN, I was with NAPLAN for about 2 years on and off, and really developing their graphics for the future of NAPLAN. With SAI Global, I worked with well over 400 programs with Coles, with Woolworths, and so many other clients that work the with those ISO standards. So looking at quality ISO standards, environmental ISO standards, IT services, information security, and health and safety. Health and safety was a really good one for me. I was actually the health and safety inspector for SAI Global when I was working with them, and doing the checks around the office and stuff. So I'm pretty handy in there. Working with Telstra, and having a good rapport with David Thoherty, very good boss. Looking at other things. Yeah, GE Capital was really GE Money, being part of things like tennis opens and stuff. So, and also really liked working with the Defence Force. So I was working on a lot of secret projects, and really a lot of the projects that help with our officers, with our army, our navy, and our our Air Force. So, it was really seeing them really achieve, also with some of the programs that I put together with them, with the personnel there on Pitt Street. So it was very, very good experience. I made a big difference, as I said, like study group for Martin College. So I probably trained over a good 3,000 students. I'm always saying 3,000, but I think it's probably a lot more than 3,000 from TAFE students, university students, private college students. It's a passion of mine. I do like educating too. So not only sort of reading up and things and making sure that I'm on top of a lot of things. And occasionally I see some of the students and they might go, John Rossetti's here, yeah. So my name's sort of known out there, like in terms of like within the education system, and a few people know some of the work that I've done, like within software and stuff. So I'm always doing something, and I'm really happy with what I do. So you got to be passionate. That's the thing, and also you got to have a good rapport with the staff. You've got to be able to be engaging. I'm hoping that I'm engaging at this thing. This is something that I usually wouldn't do, but I'm thinking why not give it a go. And I think who's given me more inspiration, especially being here online and stuff, and really exposing myself, I guess it's probably been Mario Fenech, and a lot of other sportsmen and women that have helped me to get my confidence back. And so I'd say thank you to Mario, and thank you to some friends of mine in Melbourne, and saying, if you, obviously I put my heart and soul in these things. So I spend hours and hours, and it's something that, I do enjoy. Other companies that I've probably made a big difference has been Audi, and also Hyundai. So even though in my other life, in my gas and fuel life, I'm hooked up with Hyundai, but heavy industries in South Korea. So it's something that I'm always doing something, whether it be building their brand, building one of their sister companies or something. Brands, I've probably worked on 60 major brands across the planet, and everyone will know those 60. I'm the it guy. I've been very lucky that I've had, some of these type of jobs where I'm always doing something, and always getting the next gig. And sometimes I wait a little bit sometimes, but once I get the right gig, I'm happy, and I continue. And what I end up doing is I do a lot of work that I do, a lot of preparation. It's every job is different, and every year the standards are different. I make sure that I keep up with all the standards, and just got to keep seeing what people do in other countries. I look at what they're doing here, looking at the trends. I think it's really good when you've got, you're backed up by companies that are part of this Fortune 500, whether they're the top 50 in America. I've been lucky. I've worked for those type of companies, or even like the top 100 here in Australia. So I've worked with startups that got listed, startups that didn't do nothing, and then really you just got to give it all you got. You treat everyone equal. I think there have been some very good bosses, and there's some bosses that don't engage with their staff. So I'm happy to have a chat with you about different organisations that I've worked for. And I've really I liked working with Mark Burris. He was great. I like working with David Thoherty. He's now the chairman of CSIRO. These guys, and they're my mentors. There are other people that I keep in touch, like Brent Jackson. He's awesome. He was great at Rubik, and now with the Shelf Company. And it's just quite amazing, half these guys that you get to meet. I've also been inspired by not only males but also by females, and yeah, it just keeps you. You got to keep your spirits up, and every day, and not dread a day. That's the thing. So when you start dreading the day, you think, oh, this is it. I'm going to pack my bags and go. But I think when you find something that you enjoy and you love, you don't go from it. And this is the one consistency that I like about this job. I think I've always been consistent designer and developer. And it's just a matter of getting the right makeup, the right culture, people that actually appreciate some of the back work that I do. So I would say I'm always a designer. So 100% of the day, I'm always, even when I sleep, I'm a designer. So other professions, you knock off. Once you knock off, you could do whatever you want. But I think with design, there's always something that's sort of nagging you, and you sort of think, oh, how can I fix this up? And it's really problem solving. So, and it's really finding the right, I guess, right market for all these sorts of things. Other companies I've worked with has been like things like AMP, MLC, working on some of the sponsorships and things like that with those guys. Looking at things like Teachers Credit Union, and I remember doing things like also with like Ready ATM and all those sorts of things, and doing things like with a lot of the teachers and other things. SAI Global, looking after their as I said, a lot of their learning systems and things for qualifications, whether it be health and safety, marketing systems, occupational health and safety. So from WHS, ONH&S, so looking occupation as well as work health and safety. So really managing a lot of the stuff like you'd find at things like work cover and all those things. So we're working with them, working with Sydney Water, working with Transport of New South Wales, or for New South Wales. So basically, other companies have been like Mobile Messenger, where they left and they went to the States. Very good company. I work with all the carriers, from 3 to Optus to Telstra, Vodafone. Lot of people that I've worked with. Just the Audi Australia. When they came to Australia, we set them up just after the Olympics, which is really good at Homebush. Worked with Imogen Bailey, with Hyundai, as I said, Planning New South Wales, through to even taxi media. So we're doing a lot of taxi media at the back of taxi cabs, and working with different advertising groups there. So that was with Australian Posters Network. So a lot of things I've worked in there. So even things like Ruby Star Traders, what was it? The University and Schools Club was another one. Was it Cox Architects? And we actually won awards with that cover. That was the actual cover for, I believe it was for Canberra. So it was one of the Canberra museums there. Other things there for P&O, ports, looking at things like port logistics, which is kind of similar to some of the stuff that I'm doing at the moment with my other investments in India. And other things like looking at P&O ports, national qualification, and for Qantas Airways. Other things also for the Rural Press Limited. We did annual reports for them. Mainly website designs, branding, designing for print, advertising, marketing, looking at not just Rubik Financial Limited, but also Mobile Messenger in the US. So many companies, so many cities, and so many countries, and really, it's mostly a globalized system there, and I'm proud to be a designer these days. So I think and living this era, working on different websites, trying to make it as human as possible. I know that I don't know how good I am on this thing, but I think I'm just being as human as possible. Whether I make mistakes or not, I'm human. And but the thing is, I have a passion for it. I make sure I've got a good memory, and I make sure that what I do, I do at the best of my ability, and really and really wanting to be there. That's a good thing. Well, anyway, I hope you like this chat. I know it went for about 27 minutes, but there's a little bit about me. I know 27 minutes is nowhere near the 18 years that I've actually done this. So, coming from Monash and Swinburne, and just thinking, what does the world have for me out there? But looking at things like UTS has just been amazing. All the best. Thank you. Cheers.